everybody. It's not Amsterdam, but it is Jacksonville. Oh no, what have I done? We're just getting underway in just a few moments right here on ADX Live. Welcome aboard. We're just underway. So it is not Amsterdam just yet. My sincere apologies, guys. When the so we'd been planning to do a live stream of Amsterdam for quite some time, and with hopes to get kind of an exclusive out for all of you. As many of you, I'm sure, are well aware, if you've been following Air Daily X for a number of years now, you'll know that. Amsterdam is without a doubt. Oh, wait, where's my pause button here? Amsterdam, without a doubt, is my favorite all-time European scenery. It's one that I'm super crazy about. And as I start to go into the usual running of the mouth here at the live stream, if you guys can just give me a heads up, let me know if the sound is coming in okay and you can hear me clearly. I don't want to go on a long tangent and no one can hear anything because that would really suck. But yeah, as many of you know, I am really super, just a super fan of Amsterdam. It's my favorite airport of Europe. The airport is a beast. It's a hell of a beast, and there is no airport in the world that is quite like it. So yeah, I've been wanting a new Amsterdam now probably since I jumped to prepared version 1. I pretty much skipped over FSX. I've owned it. I've had issues with it over the years. Then Lockheed Martin announced the first version of prepared version 1, so I just kind of jumped right onto that. And the Aerosoft version, which was really the Dream Factory Studios version, that one... So I know for many people that probably did a good enough job holding them over. It just I don't know. It didn't really quite work for me. So I've been really waiting on a new version of. Is it Sheeful? Amos, where are you at? Help me pronounce that. So anyway, as many of you may or may not know, Flightbeam was going to work on a version of Amsterdam. If you recall, a while back, they had this like secret project that they had up on the website for quite some time. And a lot of us were wondering, okay, what's that secret project going to be? And then it kind of disappeared. So if you weren't aware, that was actually going to be a Flightbeam Amsterdam project. Flightbeam wound up canceling the project. I think they had contracted a developer or something to do it, and I think the developer moved on or something, and with the number of projects that they already kind of had in the pipeline, they wound up kind of having to pass it up. So I think Emilio's kind of reached out to me early on. I'm not going to even give any timelines right now because my brain is all kind of backwards. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, but Emilio's reached out to me, and he was just getting on board. I think this was before he made his announcement, even before Copenhagen, that he would be considering going into Amsterdam. And what was kind of funny is at the time that he initially announced that he would be doing it, lo and behold, then Aerosoft announced in Amsterdam, and people are like, well, what's going on? And I still to this day don't know what developer Aerosoft had slated to do that. So I don't know if they've even officially canceled it or if they still might do in Amsterdam. I don't know, but that was quite some time ago, if any of you guys actually remember all of that back in the day. So anyway, I've been chatting with Emilios for about getting an exclusive live stream together, more than likely before release, and just kind of sorting out the dates and the times and the stage of the beta and just blah 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 blah. So when he reached out to me, and this is my fault, my bad, he reached out to me a couple days ago and was like, all right, we're ready to do the Skype for Amsterdam. And I thought he was ready to do the Skype interview as we preview the airport, but what he actually wanted to do was conduct the dry run. So I jumped the gun, and I'm like, yeah baby, AMS, let's go. And I guess, oops, overspeed. I guess I kind of jumped the gun there, and I'm getting everyone buttered up with likes and all that bullshit that I never usually do. But again, if you've been following the website and following me for a number of years, you know that this is just one airport that I'm just absolutely crazy about. So I'm probably going overboard and overdoing it a little bit with this one, but again, it's really my pure excitement. So just hang in there with us a little bit longer. We'll be doing some testing actually after this live stream, immediately following this live stream. We'll be conducting our tests, and then once we're sure that everything is up to par and running and blah blah blah, then we will be officially stating the live stream date, which is definitely planned for next week. So it's sometime next week. It may be Friday. Fridays usually work better for me. It could be Saturday, but don't quote me on anything yet, because the next time I tell you this is when we're doing a live stream, that is when we're doing the live stream. So sorry to get you guys all worked up and get your hopes up and then pull the carrot. I never do that. But that's just me and my pure excitement. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an explanation as to exactly what was going on there. Let me just check the comments really quickly. We've got Jacksonville coming up, and I wanted to kind of make it up for you guys. So I am here. Jacksonville was just released a few hours ago, earlier this morning. So hopefully this will make up for it in the meantime, hold you over. I'm super excited for Jacksonville, and we're just actually passing underneath Jacksonville. This is Open LC USA from Orbix, and it is looking mighty freaking good, by the way, if I do say so myself. So let me just check the comments, make sure that you actually heard all that crap I just said, and we'll start checking out the scenery. Let's see here.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Let's see. Sorry,
Sync rate.
Got my head off the screen, so I didn't hear any. I don't see anyone saying if they did or didn't hear me, or can or can't hear me. So I'll just assume that you all can. And I'm going way too damn fast here. 235 knots on the final. Holy shit! Boy, this guy is really screaming here, isn't he? Should I commit to this? I guess I will anyway. That's not going to even give me gear at this speed. Now I better go around. Why don't we do a flyby, since I'm coming in way too damn hot. We'll get a look at the scenery from the air here a little bit. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Jacksonville here. And what can I say about this developer? I know the developer very well. Super talented guy. This is his second project working with CieloSim. He released Palo Alto, and I actually don't think I ever made it to. Oh, where's my AI traffic? Oh, did I forgot to turn that on? Ah, shoot, doggone it! All right, I forgot to turn on the AI traffic. But very talented guy. He started off with Palo Alto with CieloSim, and I don't think I did get to stream that one, so I might have to at some point come back and do that one. But he's worked with quite a few developers over the years, and he's not that well known probably by name, but you certainly know his work. So I will say this much: if you recognize the style of quality here, excuse me, if you recognize the style of quality here, then I would just say, you know, whatever other airports out there that you know well, you could say, ooh, is this the same guy? Like you might say something like that once you see the scenery up close. So but I don't know if he wants to be known by name. He's kind of a quiet guy, likes to kind of work behind the scenes, but you definitely know his work. So that's one of the exciting things about Jacksonville here is he's been working on this now for, oh God, once again, timelines are no good. So has it been about a year now? So nevertheless, you can really expect some really top quality work here with Jacksonville, and I like to think that he's going to continue doing work with CieloSim and working on another airport. I don't actually, I think I do know what they're going to do next. I guess I could say it, or can I? I'll say this much, and actually, I'll just go with an assumption. By the way, that FTX Open LC USA looks really good, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, that looks just so incredible. I'll say this much. If you guys remember, before Jacksonville was initially announced, they actually held a vote, and there were several airports on that vote. And I think what they are going to do most likely is they're going to go to one of those airports that they initially voted. Now, at any point, they could have changed their mind on this, so you can't really quote me on this. So this is just kind of DeAndre hearsay, if you will. But I think that the next airport may most likely be another airport on that voting list, or they may turn around and just do a whole nother vote entirely. So I'm not really sure what the plan is going to be with that going forward, but I think they did mention which one they were thinking about doing next, but anything could change, so I don't want you guys to come back and be like, DeAndre, you douchebag, you said it was going to be this, and then it ain't that. So, but nevertheless, very well done work from this developer, and a little bit about CieloSim as a company. So some of you guys might remember them. Some of you might not. They were really, really active about, I want to say, a couple of years ago. They had a lot of different products out, namely their repaint service. And I actually had a lot of repaints done by the team back in FS9. I had them repaint a lot of aircraft for me. So once again, I'm coming in way too hot on the approach, huh? Yikes. Walking and chewing gum is not going to work for me today, unfortunately. So maybe we'll see a crash. I don't think I've crashed yet since I've started up the ADX live streams again. So I don't know. Maybe we'll actually see that again today. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure. Yeah, I am full flaps, level, and this puppy is banging out at 279 knots. Yikes. All right, let's do some air show shit. I'm literally on like 3 hours of sleep right now, so I kind of really want to get this underway because I know that Emilios is going to be waiting for me as soon as this live stream is done here. So we're gonna do something funny here. Stand by. Crash pending. So yeah, why is he just, you know what? I just reinstalled this Coronado thing, and it might be bugging out on me here. I mean, I am like climbing. I've got no throttle here, no thrust, and it's like climbing, and I'm climbing, and the speed is still going up, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. What the hell is up with the spoilers? Or maybe it doesn't have spoilers. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. I actually haven't spent any time flying this aircraft since I got it. Since I bought it from Coronado. So I just kind of quickly wanted to grab something and start flying for you guys. But this thing is acting really funky right now. Look at that. Look at that nose up. And it's like, I really have to push the nose up with no throttle for the damn airspeed to drop. I mean, come on, man. And then by the time I'm ready to start descending again, I'm too close to the airport. So yeah, they had a lot of like nice repaint services, and man, this thing is climbing fast. That's level flight, pretty much. No throttle, and look at it climb. Coronado, you buggy. Look at that. That's just level flight with no throttle. Full fucking flaps. 172 knots. I mean, I know I suck, but I don't suck that much. So, yeah, so then they kind of, CieloSim kind of, I won't say disappeared because the website's always been active, and I think in the background they were probably still doing a lot of the repaint services and stuff like that. But they hadn't worked on anything. They hadn't really released anything for a while. I should probably say that. Now, for those of you who've been around long enough and you really, really remember, CieloSim was actually developing a San Diego airport for FS9. So depending on how long you've been around and how much you remember that, this was, oh man, this must have been maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Again, my timelines today are really going to suck, but they were actually developing a San Diego airport. And believe it or not, the developer that was working on that is the same developer that was working on the Queen Alia scenery. For those of you who remember that. And I'm still not sure what's going on with that project, if it's resumed or if it's stalled. I actually have to reach out and see what's going on with that one. But basically, same developer. That San Diego never did get released, though, unfortunately, but the quality was amazing. So I wish I had kept around some of the previous screenshots of that, because it was really quite impressive. All right, let's see what's going on here. Are we doing a belly landing? All right, at least the gear is down. I'm committed this time no matter what. So, yeah, that never came through. And so then all of a sudden, CieloSim just kind of came out of nowhere. I think that was last year, and they're just like, hey, Palo Alto. And, you know, I think that was probably, for a lot of people, they're probably like, who's CieloSim? I've never heard of these guys. But the quality of Palo Alto is, like, really, really good. So CieloSim is kind of getting back into the game, and I'm actually really, really impressed with what they've come across with thus far. I should probably shut up and focus, because this landing is going to be shit. Hang on.
200.
This is a classic DeAndre, what the F are you doing approach at 160 knots, but that's okay, because I'm going to land on the piano keys and brake hard, and that's going to be it. There we go. So there we are now. We are on the ground finally. Taking a look at some of those ground textures. I know that was crappy. And let's actually go to the external view here for a second. Here we are. So there's our lovely airport there. Oh man, get this thing under control. Just off to our right. Look at that quality. So very good-looking ground textures there. I think I see some custom autogen as well. We've got some trees here off to the left, which looks very good. Look at those ground textures. Oh my gosh. Very nicely done. And I'm actually really excited to see the night lighting. I actually forgot to test the night lighting. So hopefully everything looks good. I did run some tests last night before I went to bed, and then I was busy playing with Chase Plane, because if you recall in the what stream was that? I don't even have my nav lights on. Look at how lazy I am. What stream was I doing? That was Hammerfest, and I couldn't pull out Chase Plane, so I stayed up last night making sure that one was all fixed and working fine. So, and it was. Your screen's going to go blank here for just a second because I forgot to turn on my AI. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. And I hope everything is working. I have been on a rampage trying to get everything reinstalled on the new jet line so that I can kind of get up to par with live streams and everything. So hopefully I've got everything kind of up and running here. And I will head back to your comments here in just a second. Actually, once I turn that AI, let me see, what's my frame rates now? Oh, crap. The AI is killing my frames right now. I was getting 60 frames per second. Now I've dropped to 24. Yeah, that's killing me a bit too much. Maybe I need to turn that down a little bit. Usually I can bang it out at 100% AI, but because I'm streaming, that's probably what's killing me at the moment. Let me see. Should I leave the AI? Maybe I'll just leave the AI in for right now, just so we can kind of see what the airport looks like, especially from the 3D cockpit, and we can at the very least just get an idea of some nice AI sitting at the terminal as we make our way over and park. Taking a quick look at, we've got some, what do we call this? Volumetric grasses, as my brain still tries to wake up here. Very nice looking autogen there, or not autogen, but vegetation there in the background over near the parking lots. And which way do I want to go here? I'm at a fork in the road. Let's go right. Let me see. Although I might wind up running into that guy over there. Or maybe not. Let's see. Which way are you going, dude? The second I start going this way, then he turns this way. Speaking of AI, who's ready for the Mexican standoffs, huh? Oh my God. I remember with that old Clout 9 AMS, that was a real pain in the butt. Like, I think FS9 just wasn't, oh wait, did he just stop there? I don't think FS9 just, like, had the engine to really manage AI traffic at that airport. I would turn AI up 100%. He just, is that a gate or what? What is he doing here? That's not a gate. I knew it. Didn't I just say that crap? I said the second I go that way, he's going to turn around and go this way. And then this asshole AI literally turned around on the taxiway just to screw with me. I need a new AI package. I really do. If you go back and look at some of my other live streams, there's always something. My AI is basically is about as stupid as I am when it comes to making. I don't know what's going on. That was funny. He just literally turned around and just cut me off. All right, so yeah, I guess maybe Oh, is this a gate here? What? Okay, I shouldn't have gone this way, huh? Okay, well anyway, we're going this way anyway. Screw it. I'm making my own taxiway. But yeah, I guess maybe FS9 just couldn't handle it very well. I don't know, but you'd like push back from the gate, and all these AI traffic are just staring each other down. And there's probably you've got 30 active runways, and all these taxiways and runways crossing each other, and everybody's going around, and freaking nightmare. So anyway, that's why I love Amsterdam. So I'm really interested to see how I'm off the taxiway now. I don't think I'm supposed to be taxiing over here, so that's why we're seeing this dirt, perhaps. So yeah, that's kind of the funny thing with Amsterdam, and I'm really interested to see how Emilios and the guys, how they manage the AVCAT for that, because that's going to be a trip. That's going to be very interesting to see how they manage that. Otherwise, for those of us who do use AI, we're going to be spending a lot of time going through other airplanes to get to where we need to go. So anyway, we're just taxiing around just wherever at the moment, because I obviously have no charts and I'm just going wherever I want. So I was thinking we'd head over here to the general aviation parking area, and then we'll pull out the old drone view, provided my chase plane is working. And then I will catch up on the comments here in just a moment. Actually, you know what? I might just park this thing right over here. You know what? Let's just park over here. And I'll pull that out now. So I want to try to keep this as interactive as I can. Catch up on the comments here. So give me just a moment. As we just make up our own way across here. This is, Emilios is reaching out to me in the background here on Skype, so let me respond to him real quick so we can get down to business with Amsterdam here. I am noticing, though, I did fly around the scenery last night, but I didn't spend a lot of time taxiing around, so I am seeing that little dirt effect there that's kind of bleeding through the apron, so I don't know, or the ground textures, I should say, so I don't know if that's maybe necessarily just me in my installation, or if something's going on there. So give me a second. Let me just respond to Emilios here real quick. And let me jump back into the comments. Give me just 1 second. If I don't turn this off, this thing will be making this noise all day. Nope, nope, don't start. Off. There we go. Okay, give me 1 second here. Just responding to our buddy Emilios here from Fly Tampa. Shout out to Emilios if he's watching. Yes, the whole show comes to a halt for Emilios. Okay. All right, so let me just try to catch up on the comments really quickly, and then we'll get on with the show. Just make sure if there's any questions or anything there for me. Okay, cool. 5x5. Thank you very much. Let's see. A lot of AMS chatting. I know. We're close, guys. We are close. Someone's asked, FS Bart is asking, will EHAM stream tonight? You know, it's Emilios's call. It can happen at any moment. I say next week, but it's really his call. So we'll see where we're at after the live stream today. All right, let's go to our drone mode. Oh wait, this is not on yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we are. Let's see here. Okay, there we are. So I guess we'll start off at the general aviation area here. I like to call this my drone mode because chase plane is really good for touring airport sceneries this way. That's a little too slow though. Let me try to see if I can speed that up just a little bit. Oh, that reset. No wonder that's going so slow. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. So this is what I call drone mode now. So instead of having to fly a helicopter around an airport at like 5 feet to take a look at textures and stuff like that, now I can kind of go into this really cool little drone, and we can actually take a look at the airport this way. So first impressions here thus far, aprons and taxiways look really good. The parking lot is sitting on our photo reel a bit, but it does look really nicely over there by the terminal area where the car parks are. So they do make up for it in that sense quite a bit. Here, let's just go down a little bit closer here. So really nicely done on the texture work here. What does that say? I can't make out that word there. It says Shelter Air, but I can't see what the other half is. So Florida is pretty much a lot like pretty much California, where just about every airport has to have a large general aviation section for all the business jets. And I did turn on cloud shadows this time around. Someone was mentioning that. So you got to turn on your cloud shadows when you're streaming. So I made it a point to make sure I turned on the cloud shadows this time for you guys. I used to didn't stream with cloud shadows back in the older version of Prepared, only because with the older system and streaming at the same time, that used to be a real pain in the butt. Not so much anymore. I'm still going to turn off that AI though, because it is really, what is my frame rates right now? Oh, too late. I'm just going to turn the AI off. That way it looks a lot smoother and a lot more fluid. Oh, what did I do? Why is everything dark all of a sudden? Oh, what the hell did I push? I pushed something and everything went dark. I have no idea what the hell I just did. Oops. I pushed something and I don't know what I did and everything went black. Okay, that was weird. Oh, that's crazy. Everything just kind of like went black. I pushed something on accident. I don't know what the hell it was I just pushed. But everything just like the screen just went black. I'm not sure what happened there. Hang on a second. I'm not sure what I just did. I'm reloading the scenery, try to find out what the hell I pushed. I can't think of anything in Prepare that would make the screen go black, though. World map. What the hell did I push that did that? I don't know what the hell I just did there. That was weird. I pushed something. I have no idea what. There we go. I don't know what the heck that was. I pushed something. I guess I changed the camera view. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, that's a lot smoother now. Frame rate's back up to 60 again. So one of the things we can talk about already is the performance is really impressive. Really impressive. You may not see too many cloud shadows because there's really kind of an overcast here. So you can kind of see it a little bit. Let me just raise up here a bit. You can see where it's darker and lighter in some areas. And a little bit, you can kind of make that out. In fact, because I see there in the chat, they're like, really, are your shadows off? Here, let's do this. This is how you can tell. See that? So yeah, the cloud shadows are on. You can't really see them all that well. But they're there. Continuing moving along here. So yeah, let's take a look at the rest of these hangers. So the photoreal imagery, very nice. In fact, I'll just go a little bit higher here. So we can take a look at the photo imagery versus the ground textures and taxiways. Very nicely done. It's very well colored too. And that's some high resolution texture work as well. And in fact, if we just kind of pan out here a little bit more, you can kind of see how well it blends in with FTX North America. I keep saying USA, but it's really North America, but it covers a huge portion of Central America and the Caribbean as well. So you can see there the blending is seamless, literally. And that is a really nice high resolution photo texture there. So frames are around 50 frames per second right now. That's with my AI turned off. Usually I can really work this out with my AI, but I'm using kind of a shady AI package, as you can already see. So that one's acting kind of weird. I'll have to find out what's going on there. And just like with every Floridian airport, we've got runoff. So got to visit Orlando and Tampa for the first time earlier this year after FlightSimCon. And, you know, I think Florida probably has the best looking airports in the country. It's just Florida really is its own world when it comes to its airports, and I really love the lakes and water and stuff between taxiways, and it really is. It brings a lot of character to airports in the U.S., which generally don't have a lot of character. So, I mean, LAX, the only thing about LAX that has any character, I can tell you, is pretty much the encounter theme building, and the rest of the airport, as Donald Trump would say, is a third world country. So they're busy trying to make changes and improvements to the airport, but ultimately it's still a 1940s airport, a pig with lipstick on it. Let's just get up close to some of these building textures here. As you can see here, the textures are looking very nice, very in-depth. And I've gotten a few emails from folks that are looking for live streams for a few other projects that were released over October and November while I was kind of trying to get caught up, and then waiting on the new system. So there's a lot of live streams that for stuff that's been released recently that I'd love to get to, but I just haven't had time to get to them yet. And now that we're in December and developers are kind of, ooh, there's some texture bleeding there. And now that developers are releasing all of their sceneries now, it's really a matter of getting caught up, or not so much getting caught up, but just trying to keep up with everything that's being released for December. So come January, I know we usually tend to get at least 2 really big releases in the month of January. And February, we'll usually see like 2 or 3 huge releases. Usually that's from developers that didn't quite get their stuff out for the Christmas season. And then the rest of it is usually stuff that developers intended to kind of release for the new year. So January still tends to be a really good month. And then things kind of settle a little bit toward the back end of January, beginning of February, and then they start to pick up again. So Hopefully, I'll be able to get caught up with a lot of that stuff that was released prior. So I know I made a lot of promises and haven't been able to get to them yet. So just kind of stay tuned for that stuff, because a lot of stuff was released that's really, really good, and I really, really want to kind of get around to that. Amos sent me an email about Malpensa from David Rosenfield, and that's another one that I'm really hoping to try to catch up with. So this is a pretty cool effect here on the glass. That's actually really cool. Let's just zoom in on that a bit. So far, all the texture work is really insane. So like I said before, I mean, the developer, I won't mention his name because I don't know if he wants to be known exactly, but I'll say this, though. I mean, if you look at the quality of the texture work here, and if you just think to yourself, damn, this is really freaking good on behalf of CieloSim, then you can kind of think how you might know him, or how you might have seen this quality before. So he's kind of a quiet guy, but he works with a lot of different developers, and in this case, he's working with CieloSim in this case as well. Oh, check that out. Is that my airplane? Okay, that's a new one. I didn't see that either. So there's a few bugs here. So it could be me, though. It's probably that doesn't necessarily mean it's the scenery. It could be me. And this is a renowned developer as well, so I'm sure if it's me, it's probably just me, and if not, they're really quick at fixing releases. So, Simwings, was it Malaga or Menorca? Hang on. I think is it Menorca? Is that the one that they just recently released? So, that airport terminal, which is a really nicely done airport terminal by the development team. But a lot of people, and even when the initial previews for Jacksonville initially came out, a lot of people were basically like, here we go again with that stupid ass internal modeling. We don't need that junk, and it's only going to kill our frame rates, which, by the way, is still in the 50s. So, I mean, this is what you get with internal modeling. Now, there is literally no effect on performance, but what you wind up getting is this very realistic impression when you pull up to the terminal, and this is how it should look. I mean, this is what you're going to be seeing in real life, and of course, everyone is always looking for realism. They want everything to be as realistic as possible and as close to the real world as possible. So when you add interior modeling, I mean, that's really the quality that you're getting and the level of realism that you're getting. So the only kind of disappointment with that update with the Simwings Malaga is, that terminal is like all glass. So it would have really been nice to kind of have that same similar effect with the update with that airport. So I know a lot of developers these days, they give people an option to have the internal modeling or not. And from what I tend to hear from the developers is they tell me personally, there's really no difference in VAS or performance. We put it in there as a placebo because people think that if they disable internal modeling that they're getting better frame rates, but they're really not. It's pretty much optimized the same. So there you have it. So a lot of detail here just on the tarmac. There's like little elevated curbs here. The jet bridges are really nicely done. In fact, let's take another close-up of the jet bridges. I do believe I did read that the jet bridges aren't animated, so we'll definitely have to test that. So I'm still seeing our little airplane there bleeding through the building there. I don't know if that's me or the scenery. Good question. Like I said, I did do some testing early this morning, but that's a new one actually. So I'll have to take a look and see what's going on there. Same thing with Hammerfest as well. There was a lot of things going on my end with that stream as well. So it could be that with me just being on this rampage of installing all this stuff that maybe I'm just pushing it. So here we go. Here again, we have this really nice glass-like image on the glass texture here. That is really neat. I think that's probably a first for flight simulation, this sort of glass decor here, if you will. Oops. Oh, my zoom keys aren't working, are they? No, they are not. Oops. Okay. But yeah, very nice effect there. Let's just move upward here just a little bit and take a look at the full terminal model and the ground textures as well. And the roof textures are also nicely detailed. Just kind of taking a look at the bigger picture here. Let me leave you on that note for a second. Let me just try to catch up on some of the comments, see if there's any questions. Yeah, you guys got Amsterdam on the mind. I know. I really did butter you guys up. I know. I know. I feel terrible. Let's see. Oh, actually, I saw Rolio had a really interesting comment there, if I can find it. Let me see. Let me scroll back up here. Because I think he had a really good point about AI traffic. Where'd it go? Amos, do you really not speak Dutch? Why did I think you were? Did I totally miscall that? Or do you just live there, is it? Let me see. I remember my first trip to Amsterdam. There's just no way in hell I could even pronounce just one street. Like, you're going down one street, there's like 30 freaking letters in it, and they're all silent. Rolio said the developer who is going to be the first to release an AI package that doesn't use built-in AI traffic engine for better performance is going to be a billionaire. So developers take note. Just scrolling through. Just living here for 10 years. Wow, you managed to live there for 10 years and not be able to speak the language. Good for you, man. I mean, the funny thing about AMS is, of all the places that I've toured around the world, I've never come across more. And usually when I'm leaving the United States, it's to get away from Americans. Like, so by the time I come home and I speak to someone with a similar accent, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like in shock. So that's the funny thing is of all the times I've been to Amsterdam, I'm still always amazed at how many Americans are there. Everyone there is a freaking American. I don't. Even the freaking homeless in Amsterdam is American. Like, I was walking down the street one day and like this guy, hey man, you brother, you got some change? I was like, are you serious? Is this South Central LA or am I in Europe? What the hell? So that's weird. And then you do the pub crawling, and all the girls are American. So that's a trip. So I guess you really can live there and not really need to speak the language, to be honest. It may not necessarily really be necessary. I really want to comment on these trees because the vegetation here, this is very Floridian-esque, if I can say such a word. That definitely is a Florida-looking type of tree. Oh my gosh, Chase Plane, what are you doing? I can't go forward or backward now. What? Oh, come on. You know, I really got to say, Chase Plane is like the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, there we go. Can I go backward? No, I can't. Okay, that is weird. Now I can, but now I can't go side to side. And Kevin is actively working on it, but it seems like every time I turn this thing on, there's a new bug. So now my drone, I can't go left or right. I don't know. That just happened like just now. Now I can't go backward or forward, just left or right. So that's one downside to that. So all the buildings in the scenery are really nicely done. We've got a little bit of photoreal cars on the parking lot, but that's far enough away from the airport that that's not a big deal. But we do have some nice 3D cars near the main area. If I can just get over there, let me try to restart Chase Plane here and see if that'll fix it for me. Boy, live streams, man, I'm telling you, everything works well until I go live. But you guys know that. Except for my flying. I really do suck that bat when I'm offline. All right. Let's see if it's back. Okay. Oh, there's that black screen again. So when I go to the external view, the screen goes black. Okay. Let me see. Outside cockpit, onboard chase plane. There's supposed to be another. Oh, something got overwritten here. All right, something got overwritten. So you know what? Let me just see if I can do this by just going outside the aircraft instead. And I think it reset my speed again too, didn't it? I think it did. Yep. Let's move that back up. Oops, wrong button. Oh man, no, now I can't go forward or backward now. Well, maybe I'm not meant to do that while I'm inside the aircraft, but I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, I don't know. Something just got overwritten because now the chase plane controls and the views have disappeared. So, oh man, chase plane, you're letting me down, baby. This was going well for about a minute, and now it's not. Let's try restarting that one more time. That's weird. Yeah, every time it seems like I restart it, I come across a new bug that wasn't there before. Okay, yeah, that's not going to do it. Okay, and then when I leave the aircraft, it slows down. So I can't go around the whole airport like that. All right. Well, let's go back to our trusty helicopter. So, okay, we'll have to exit chase plane. That sucks. Okay, we'll grab a helicopter here. Good time to check the chat anyway. Let's see. All right, let me just grab a helicopter. Your screen's probably blank at the moment or frozen. Give me a second. Ooh, and something just screwed with my shaders too. So you know what? That aircraft that you saw through the building, that's my shaders. Something's just screwed with my shaders. Again. So that's what that was. At least we figured that part out. So that's my shaders going crazy. I find with P3D that for some reason my shaders need to be dumped and reset often. I don't know. Does anyone else seem to have that issue? That seems to be an issue with me anyway. So that seems to make a lot of sense now because sometimes if you go to your aircraft selection menu and like your aircraft wind up with these sort of transparent like textures, that's the shaders. So I recently, Zoolander reset those for me because I was sitting there trying to figure out, all right, what's going on this time? And so now it's doing that again. So that would seem to answer that. So we were talking a little bit about the parking lots earlier. The areas near the front of the terminal and the car parks here. So really nicely done here on the elevated car parks. And I really wanted to see the static cars as well. Another good thing about Floridian airports, if you're able to sneak in, or actually I don't even think you need to sneak in. I think if you just pull in to any of the car parks, you can go to the roofs and they have like the best spotting areas of the airfield. So before I left Tampa earlier in June, we spent a lot of time. We spent about, what, probably an hour just hanging out at the top of the car park and just kind of spotting for a while. And that's really nice. So we really don't have that option in LA. I mean, we sort of kind of do, but they're private companies and there are actually signs that actually say no photography. Because you've got that really nice car park that's kind of like above the in and out there, and that's a really nice place to spot for the final 2-4 right approach. But yeah, they do have signs and security in there. So whenever you have a camera anywhere near an airport, it might as well be a rocket launcher, because pretty much everyone acts about the same when it comes to that stuff. So. All right, so let's take a look. So, I mean, Jacksonville, again, it's not that large an airport, but, I mean, it's a really nice-looking airport. And as far as Florida goes, I mean, what Florida airport is left? I think there's probably 1 or 2 airports that are left. I think some people would probably like to see Fort Lauderdale get a reboot. But pretty much almost all of them are done. Let's take a look at the night lighting. Let's just set this down here. My helicopter landings are always better than my fixed wing landings, aren't they? Okay. I'm going to try the time preview just to get an idea of what time of day I should set this for. So we get that perfect mix of night lighting and... Oh, and remind me to do the winter textures as well so we can see the snow. Oh, wait, it's Florida. Oops. You guys wish. All right. Actually, wow. The night... I can get water here. My voice is cracking. The night textures look actually really good. Usually I have to... kind of do this manually and not with the time preview, but this actually worked out nicely. That's some really impressive night lighting there. So far, I think I only noticed the one bug, really, which was the hardened surface for some of the apron area. Although, where I did see that, where I think were in areas that I shouldn't have been taxiing. But other than that, the aircraft see-through through the terminal could have been, well, I think it's my shaders. That seems to be that. I want to say it could be maybe chase plane, but I think that's really my shaders. But this night lighting is freaking gorgeous. I think that's some of the best night lighting I've seen. Look at that. I actually want to go down to the edge and see the chase lights here. Or the approach lights. Let me see if those are on. Let me see. Where are the lights in this thing? I always forget. May or may not be it. Nope, that wasn't it. The night lighting here, especially like on the runways and taxiways, is the most impressive thus far. That is some really nice night lighting. And let's just kind of move out here a little bit. Really loving those ground textures too, by the way. Frame rates, I'm still getting 60, so that's nice. Look at that night lighting. That is some of the best night lighting I think I've seen in a scenery like that. It's really, really nicely done. And what I like about the night lighting is with some developers and some airports, as you move away from the lights furthest off in the distance tend to start disappearing. If you ever notice that, you do get this thing where the lights start to disappear. So it's like you can't look down the whole runway as you're on approach, especially like if you're on a 2-mile final. Like the lights sometimes at the far opposite end of the threshold are not illuminated until as you continue moving down the runway, then they start to light up. And that's one of the things that I've always hated about certain sceneries. But here, you have the whole runway illuminated. I mean, you can see all the lights on the taxiways. I mean, that's kind of how it should look. So, speaking of night lighting, I know a lot of you are waiting to get my input on X-Plane 11. And there's a reason why I haven't done that yet. And the reason being is when I give my thoughts on X-Plane 11, I like them to be pretty definitive. I know that pretty much like Prepared, it's a platform that's probably going to be in constant development. So, however X-Plane 11 looks at the time it's released this month, assuming that they're still going to release this month, may not still be the same X-Plane a year from now. They may make lots of changes to it. They may have seasonal textures and stuff like that. So, but at the very least, what I want to be able to show is the finished project at the time it's released. So I'm still kind of playing around with the beta right now, and at the moment I will say this, I'm kind of like mixed on it, and that's actually a pretty good thing, I guess, in X-Plane's defense, because that's a huge step up from just absolutely 100% freaking hating it. So to kind of be feeling a bit mixed right now is really not a bad thing at all. I'm just kind of moving out a little bit, just kind of just see those approach lighting. So, I mean, what I can tell you off the bat, what I love about it, the aircraft look beautiful. I mean, both from the inside and out. So, I mean, they've done an incredible job with that. I'm not really sure how much different the environment looks. I want to say it looks a little bit better, but it's not like striking. The night lighting is just insane. It is freaking insane. But there's little annoying things. The clouds I still hate. As far as manipulating aircraft controls, that's really annoying. Like, I don't know, like the way you use the mouse. Like, at least maybe for me, I don't like click and drag stuff. And so I was kind of fooling around with the MD-80, and it's like I had to drag the mouse like off my desk to move the, like the altitude knob and stuff like that. So I don't like how you interface with the aircraft controls from the virtual cockpit, if that makes any sense. I find performance is pretty tough too, and I've seen that with a lot of other people as well. That they're not really that impressed with performance. And I guess for a lot of us, we just automatically assume 64-bit platform, max all that shit out. But that is not really seeming to be the case with X-Plane 11. It doesn't matter how powerful your computer is, maxing everything out, I don't think is going to work with X-Plane. So, which is kind of a disappointment, because you would think now that you're able to take full advantage of a powerful computer. I'm on a very powerful computer, so you'd think that you'd be able to just fully take advantage of everything, but that's not really seeming to be the case. And I've been kind of watching, I don't remember, what's his first name? Anskov. He's a very kind of popular guy. I think he's a beta tester for X-Plane. I think he's a beta tester as well for Prepared. And this guy knows his stuff, But when I see him flying around Jevitsky, New York City at 30 frames per second, and I'm thinking that's exactly the same frames I get in Prepared with everything nearly maxed out, I'm thinking he should be getting at least twice that. So with a 64-bit platform, I just, there's some things that seem to be kind of falling short, but that's why rather than pass judgment on something that's just an open kind of demo beta, I'd rather just wait till it's officially out, and then I can really kind of have a more thorough response. So as you can see, Orbix and Project X, they've been kind of somewhat cryptic, but you guys have been really, I guess, more or less trying to figure out exactly what all these different projects are that Orbix is working on. So I personally will not confirm nor deny, but at least with the X-Plane, that much I think is pretty obvious. Project X, they showed a screenshot of MiG's field, which obviously appears to be X-Plane, and so that's going to be an interesting test for Orbix. Just testing the viability of the new X-Plane platform, because Laminar Research, they are, I think, starting to take a lot of things seriously, especially as it pertains to a lot of what the existing community members have been asking for in a platform. I mean, of course, they're still falling short in some areas, but they are definitely making progress in others. So I think a lot of people are really interested to see what X-Plane is going to bring, and there are a lot of people like me that wouldn't so much as bat an eye at X-Plane. They now have our attention, and so we're really curious to see, what they're going to do differently this time around with their new platform. So they've definitely changed that UI, which is a massive improvement. And there's a lot of, I think they still have a ways to go, though. And when looking at the demo thus far, if the demo is representative of the final product, then they certainly do have a bit of a ways to go. So, but again, I'll wait until the final project is actually released, and then I'll start looking into it a little bit more as we move along. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. I'm also really looking into Aerofly FS now. I've got that installed, and I've got some special access to locked parts of the program that they're working on that I'm looking at. One of the things I can say about Aerofly is, man, that thing looks amazing in VR. It is amazing. The performance is amazing. The lighting is amazing. Again, there's some areas where it does kind of fall short, but that's something that's still well into its alpha stage and still has a way to go. But as we start looking into, like Orbix mentioning, what their projects are and what they're looking into 2017, from Air Daily X, one of the things you can expect going forward into 2017 is really looking at X-Plane 11 and also looking at Aerofly FS, and really looking at the viability of these two programs. Right now, the big mystery of all, of course, is Dovetail, or Dovetail. I don't know why I say Dove. I don't know where that comes from. But is Dovetail, and where they are with their simulator. So they did mention, I did post that they have pushed things back into 2017. So they've got a lot going on. Their new train simulator looks pretty freaking amazing. So I'm a big fan of trains. I can't think that anyone who's a fan of aircraft can't be are probably fans of trains as well. I love trains. So I took a look at that, and they have my attention with the train sim. I don't know if I'll buy it, though, because I know that if I buy their train sim, and again, if it's like, how they've been doing it in the past, where if I want to buy a repaint for my train, I've got to come off at 10 or 20 bucks, yeah, that ain't going to work. So I can understand maybe paying for different trains, just like in FS we pay for different aircraft. But, if I want the Delta train livery, and then I want to get the American Airlines train livery or the Southwest train livery, and these things are costing me money, that ain't going to do it. So, unless they go, okay, here's a package of like 40 train liveries for 10 bucks, then, that might be something doable. So as far as the pricing, how the pricing model is going to work with all their DLC, that'll be interesting. But, I will say this, just given the amount of detail and effort that Dovetail has put into that train simulator, if they're going anywhere near that with their flight simulator, then certainly that's something that I'm really going to be interested in seeing. So expect to see coverage of that as well. Never before in history have we seen, I don't want to say a divide or a split, but just so many freaking options for Flight Simulator. And I think everyone's just kind of wondering, okay, what's the ultimate direction? Because at the end of the day, whereas I think the majority nowadays is leaning toward prepared, you still have a large group of people that are like, I can't do it because the EULA just doesn't pertain to me. So no matter how great prepared is, it's never going to be an entertainment platform, which means the community is always going to need that #1 entertainment platform. So because it's never going to be P3D, no matter how many of us own it and love it, the question is really going to come down to who's going to be the leader of the community entertainment quote-unquote platforms, or quote-unquote entertainment platforms. And so that's going to be interesting, because as far as I see, we've got 3 huge contenders right now for the entertainment license platform. So the question, and the question comes down to, can there only be room for one? I mean, you still have existing FSX box and Steam, which that's probably going to be around for probably another 3 to 5 years, the way things are looking. I mean, and if you think, okay, where are we going to be in 5 years? Okay, 2021, 2022. So when you actually say the year, we can always say, okay, yeah, FSX is going to be viable in 5 years. But when you say the year, is FSX going to be still viable in the year 2022 or 2023? Then things are like, well, shit. Where's technology going to be in 2022, 2023 that FSX is still a dominating platform? And the answer to that has to be that it can't be. So, Prepared, I'm sure, will definitely still be viable and moving forward. And, but again, that's not the entertainment platform. So the question is going to be, can the flight simulation community sustain 3 entertainment platforms? And technically there's 3 right now. So it's going to be really interesting. I think if all of the developers all decide, well, we will, develop for all 3, that's going to be hell. And so the developers are most likely going to be looking towards what platform is going to be their primary platform that they're going to develop for, which is more than likely going to be 95% Prepared, or P3D. And then what is the platform that is going to be the easiest for us to port our sceneries over to, that are also going to make the most in sales? So, it's really going to be the third-party developer driven, but also community driven in terms of where you all decide to go in. So I'll be looking at all the options over the next year, and hopefully together we'll figure this thing out. But for the most part, there you have it, folks. Jacksonville. It's looking beautiful. I know Emilios is probably waiting on me now, because we've got a date to start checking out AMS. And so let me just hit the chat one more time just to see if there's any other questions or comments about the scenery. So far, visual quality-wise, I give it a perfect 10. Looks like there's a couple of bugs in there, but that's the case with just about every airport release. And additionally, CieloSim is really looking to really put their name out there again, and not only put their name out there, but in a way that they've never done before, and that's there we go. And that's in a way that really gets people's attention, and nothing really gets folks' attention the way quality airports and quality aircraft do. So, and they are certainly hitting the mark with that. I mean, Jacksonville just looks absolutely freaking spectacular. So when we think about what we have for Florida now, we've got Jacksonville now, which is awesome. That's a 10 in my book. We've got Orlando from Taxi to Gate. We've got that Fort Lauderdale from FS Stream Team. I know that FSC team mentioned that they're going back and updating a lot of their older airports. I don't know if Fort Lauderdale is going to be one of them, but we still have a decent Fort Lauderdale. Then, of course, there is Miami from Latin VFR. We may or may not see a new Miami in the future. I am hearing rumblings in the background, but I can't speak of anything on that. But there may or may not be a new Miami, but at the very least, for the time being, we have a decent Latin VFR Miami, as well as a very decent Latin VFR Key West, and a decent Latin VFR Southwest Florida. And then, of course, we have Fly Tampa's Tampa. What have I left out? What have I left out? What else do we have in Florida right now? There's so many. Oh, Daytona! Joe Airland, what's up? That's right. So we have Daytona as well. Again, another fascinating airport for Florida. So a lot of eyes on Florida lately. And, all of these airports are really, really good that have been coming out. So it'll be interesting to see what if all is done again. Jevietsky Design, you guys probably know them as Derziki or Derziwiki or however you guys have been saying it. But Jevietsky, they did release that Miami city scenery many years ago. I'm not a fan of it, That Miami scenery was a scenery that they took over from another developer. I don't remember the name of that developer, but that was a good riddance situation. If you go back onto FSDT and type in Miami, you might find the old posts of this old developer that was working on it, and it wasn't. Yeah, he disappeared. He sold it to Javietsky, and it's not super great. But now, if you look at what they're doing, the big enhancements that they've done to New York City, the amazing Moscow. I've got to do that. I've got to get back and do that Moscow live stream. So again, there's a lot of stuff that came out that I need to go back and catch up on. But now they're doing Washington D.C. and also a version of Reagan. So hopefully, it would be great to go back and see them do Miami with those new updated textures that they've been doing and night lighting, because that would be really kick-ass. So we'll see. I'd like to think that they are, but it just really depends. But we'll see. I'll have to talk to my boy Stan at Javietsky and see what they're doing. So let me just make my last round through the comments here. Let's see, before we... Oh, I didn't test the gates, did I? All right, hang on. Let me switch aircraft one more time. We did forget to do that. So, in fact, while I do that, let me check the manual and make sure the gates are animated, because I don't know if I remember seeing that. Go to airport. No. Settings. Oh, I don't want settings. I want select aircraft. Or sim object, or whatever the hell they call it. Vehicle. There we go. So let me do that real quick. See if we can, and then I got to check the manual too to make sure even if that is the case. Let me see. What's a quick aircraft that I can jump into real quick? Where's that default A320? Because I don't have... A lot of my aircraft I drug over from my old installation, so I didn't have to reinstall too much. But we'll just grab the Project Airbus and just put that on the gate. Just for kicks and giggles and to test it out. I have not reinstalled my Aerosoft Airbus yet. Let's see. And Ben from Airline to Sim is here. A little bit late. Yes, I addressed the AMS. I'm going to be doing some testing of AMSs at the end of the live stream. And then I'll come back and announce an official live stream date. Ben from Airline to Sim, of course, going to be releasing that 777 training program. And I'm actually looking forward to getting a live stream together with Ben soon as well. That's going to be kick-ass. I can't wait to take that program. So I have the... PMDG on my... Well, actually, it's not installed right now, but I'm really looking forward to flying it the right way, because one of the things about Airline 2 Sim is they really do have a way of teaching you things that you think you know, and then it turns out you really don't know, or you've just been doing it wrong. So, Airline... And it's entertaining. Like, seriously, you can, like, just watch that on your phone and just be entertained. It's really, really good stuff. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Did I see Jared Marshall in here somewhere? I saw Jared Marshall's name. Someone said Jared Marshall somewhere. My boy Jared, working hard. Kicking ass on that Innsbruck. There we go. And by the way, Jared was here in L.A. A couple of months ago, so I got to sit down with him and do a bit of an interview. So he wasn't at FlightSimCon. Hopefully he'll be at FlightSimCon next year, but he came out to L.A. and made up for it. So I got to do a little post-FlightSimCon interview with Jared Marshall, and... some fun stuff. So we'll be... Ben said, stop lurking, Jared. So, yeah, I'm going to have a nice treat for you guys at some point once Innsbruck is released. So definitely look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here. Just making my way down the list here. I think that's it. I didn't see any questions or anything. Oh, and Rolio says a friend of his also had a laggy experience with a 2600K and GTX 980 with X-Plane. So, yeah, it seems like you really have to take the settings down, and when they are down, the frames still aren't like super great. So it could, I don't know. So that's why I'd rather just wait and reserve judgment on that up until it's released. So I didn't check the manual to see if this has animated jet bridges. I should have. Oops, I'm in slew mode, so that's not going to work. But in the meantime, what I want to do is just slew over to a gate. Oh, that's the wrong button, isn't it? That's the right button. There. Oh, oops. Come back. Come back here. Thomas Cook. All right, there we go. So we'll pull up to that gate here. And I don't even think the engines on this thing is running, so I don't even know if I can pull up to the gate properly or not. Let me see. No, they're not. So let me just move up here a little bit. Where's the parking position? Okay. So I don't think it's using the Sim Object Display Engine. I think it's just, that's too far. Or is it just the default? I don't know. So I don't even know if it's animated jet bridges. I didn't even check that part. Control J doesn't seem to be working. So let me just really quickly check the manual on that, if there is one. Hang on a second. Where would it be? Lockheed Martin. Where would that be? There's no CieloSim folder. Let's check add-on scenery. Okay, there it is. Okay, documents. Okay, user guide. And let me also switch views here, because okay, let's take a look here. So, all right, there's Jacksonville animated jetways, page 4. Let's see really quickly. Oh, it's just the Control J option. So let's go back to prepared and check that Control J option. Options or settings. Let me just make sure Control J is in fact assigned to that, because I don't really have much assigned directly through the simulator. Everything goes through FSUI PC, which is another thing, by the way, when it comes to going to another platform, is not having FSUI PC. Like, I wonder how the hell am I going to live my life without FSUI PC? I don't know, because X-Plane doesn't use that. So it's like how that's just how I do it. So you can see here, almost everything here is almost empty because I like to clear everything out of P3D directly. So anyway, I think that's under attach detach, right? Attach detach jetway. So that's Control J. Okay. So Control J. Nope. Let me move up a little bit, maybe. Control J. No, maybe it's not that gate. I know that's the case with certain airports. Like I know with Flight Tampa, Copenhagen, it's the same way where Control J or certain jet bridges just aren't animated. So let's try another gate. Take off slew mode and Control J. Well, that doesn't seem to be working either. All right, let's just move to one more gate. I'm going to try one more gate here. Turn off the slew. Control J. All right, so jet bridges do not seem to be working here. At the very least, we can take a look at the building from inside this cheapy VC. All right, so that is that. The jet bridges do not seem to be working, so that's the only other thing here. Let's see. All right, so I'll chat with the developer, and I will give you a follow-up on the news page on Jetways. Yeah, okay, so some of you, it's not working with you guys either, for some of you that have already bought the scenery. Okay, so that at least that bit is not just me then. All right, so I'll follow up with the developer, and we'll see what's going on there. In the meantime, we can head on over to, let's just head over to CieloSim really quickly, head over to the website, because the other thing that's also impressive about this scenery is the price. And we're going to take a quick look at the price here. Come on. There we go. So the price, and that's really the most impressive thing about this scenery, is $23.99. Look at that. So that's a very, very impressive, price for the scenery. So other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I've got Emilio's that's going to be waiting on me here. So I'm going to head over to meet him. So I'm still slowly trying to get back into the streaming. And again, still a lot more stuff that's going to be released this month. So I try to give you guys as much advance notice as I can before the streams. But a lot of this stuff is just like getting released. So I'm just trying to keep up with it as much as I can because I know it's Christmas time. You guys are taking advantage of all these sales and all these releases. And I know a lot of you guys like to see this stuff up front and personal. So it, you can kind of help get a more informed, or not informed decision, but just so you can see things a little bit up close and in real time, as opposed to just looking at screenshots on a product page or a video. You can really kind of just move around the whole scenery. So as opposed to just from an artistic form. So I'll be looking to try to keep up with these things as fast as I can. So you might just want to keep your eye on the website every day, because at some point, and there may be some cases where if something gets released like in the afternoon, I might stream it like probably later on that night. And I know for a lot of you that time is not really conducive. So you'll just have to keep an eye on it, because I'll be trying to get to the stuff as much as I can to kind of keep everything rolling. So in this case, Jacksonville was just released several hours ago. The live stream is here. You got to see it firsthand. And I like it. I think it's well done. There's just so much that was done right here. Just a couple bugs, but Wood Scenery isn't released without a few bugs on first release. So I will post an update as soon as there's an update available, and I'll chat with the developer on those shitways and try to come back with you guys with a response on that. And pretty much that's it. So thanks again for tuning in. And yeah, I will definitely give you guys a definitive update. I hope to give you an update today in terms of when we'll do the AMS live stream. So no promises yet, but just keep checking back, and I promise the next time I announce it, we will be doing it. So sorry for getting your hopes up on that one, but we are going to do the testing of it right now, and then hopefully I'll be able to come back to you with some sort of an update. So other than that, guys, I'm going to bounce. It is Friday, so tell the boss to screw off, go home, have a beer, and enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you guys here for the next live stream, everyone. So head out, grab Jacksonville. It's Christmas time, Hanukkah time, and who else celebrates something this time of year? I don't know. It's December. Go out, have fun, enjoy flying. I'll see you guys here for the next live stream.